It's time to break away from the herd. It's time to break away from the majority and take back control of your own money. If your money is locked up in financial markets till the age of 59.5, if you are like most dentists and doctors out there, most likely you've relinquished your retirement accounts to third-party fiduciaries. One thing that we never do, though, is ever question whether this is the right thing to do or not. Have you ever actually took the time to think about your money and where it's going? To start, you have to remember that you lose complete control of your money until the age of 59 and a half years old, unless you want to pay fees and penalties. So your money is locked up in a lockbox that you can't touch even though it's your own money. So yeah, there's some tax deductions, and yeah, there's some tax deferral that's involved, that's sold as an advantage of this 401k plan or traditional retirement plan. But at what cost? What use is your money if you can't use it to buy back your time when you need it? You can forget about generational wealth transfer strategies. You lose the step up in basis when you pass it off to the next generation or your heirs. You miss out on other beautiful tax mitigation strategies such as cost segregation and depreciation. Also, long-term capital gains tax treatment is also unavailable when you are in these type of retirement accounts. So that's what this video is about. We're gonna break down that traditional way of thinking and make you think a little bit differently than what you've been probably told by all your advisors. Hopefully by the end of this video, you're going to be woke, as my millennial counterparts might say. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Jonathan Withananchi, or Dr. Johnny Walker. I'm a successful endodontist as well as the principal of a real estate investment firm that specializes in helping doctors and dentists achieve financial freedom through passive investment in real estate. So far up to date, we have invested in over $211 million worth of multifamily real estate with over 1,523 apartment units as a general partner. Investing heavily in real estate has allowed me to take a giant step back from my clinical practice, work in ideal part-time hours, and travel the world and spend enormous amounts of time with my family, as well as pursue my goals and passions, which is investing in real estate and educating my fellow doctors on how they too can achieve a life of true freedom. A couple of little housekeeping duties. We do have a new Facebook group. It's called Financial Freedom for Dentists. It says for dentists, but it's really geared towards any dentist, doctor, or successful business owner. And it's filled with other members just like you that are on their path of building wealth. It's a great community where you can meet other like-minded people. You can get one-on-one access to me. We go live. We give away lots of free resources and downloads to help you become a better and more prudent investor, as well as tips, tricks, and strategies to add gasoline to your retirement portfolio. And remember, if you are liking the content on this video, please do share with somebody else that might gain value from this information. That's the greatest gift you can give, is self-awareness, especially when it comes to things like making money. Let's get right into the video now. What will your financial advisor do? Now, the financial advisors, a great majority of them, a lot of them are really good people with good intentions, but they don't necessarily have an alignment of interest with you. Now, when you're ready to retire after years of watching your money go up and down on the roller coaster of the stock market, they'll probably tell you to do something like, hey, you should start moving your money into less risky things like bonds, cash, and CDs, or certificates of deposit. But why do they tell you that? Because they themselves are acknowledging that the stock market is too volatile or too risky. They have no confidence in the future stability of the market. And if you need your money when the market is down, then you are stuck in S Creek. You see, after someone retires from their active income, they no longer have enough time. They don't have time on their side to wait for the market to come back if it's in a volatile state. When you're pulling out money from your retirement accounts, you are subject to large ordinary income tax instead of paying long-term capital gains tax, which is a much more favorable tax rate. And probably the worst part of the whole thing is by relinquishing your responsibility of stewarding your own money, you've learned absolutely nothing in the process. You've learned nothing about how to invest your money. You've learned nothing about how to build cash flows and build wealth for yourself. You haven't learned about ways to get preferential tax treatment. As doctors, we are taxed to the max. The biggest factor crushing our wealth building abilities is taxes. By completely avoiding learning and avoiding the finance part of it, we are missing out on beautiful tax strategies that can greatly mitigate the amount of taxes that we're paying. And finally, the rules of retirement plans continues to change, and it's not in the investor's favor. The government is going to need more and more revenue in order to service their growing insurmountable amount of debt. Congress has decided to increase the 401k limits, but that's actually not good news. It's a specious argument to say this is good news. In March of 2021, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the Strong Retirement Act of 2022 to increase retirement savings, simplify and clarify retirement plan rules, and for other purposes. This act was introduced to bolster American retirement savings by allowing workers to diversify assets included in defined contribution plans such as 401k plans. So let's break down the myths and propaganda. It's a specious argument to say that yes, this is a beneficial thing for the American retiree, but it's actually not. Congress is touting that they will provide diverse investments with higher returns and a more secure retirement for millions of Americans. But there is no security here. Investment professionals are just looking for more power. They're looking for more power so that they can choose retirement pathway and the retirement investments for you. But the thing is, no one can guarantee what the stock market will do. The retirement funds are still locked up till an age where you're still tied taxes and penalties and fees, and you don't have control of your own money, most importantly. That's why a 401k plan is not your answer to financial freedom. If you really want to take control of your life, if you really want to build a retirement account that allow you to live a life of true abundance and freedom, you must learn about passive investing. Now, if you really want to take control of your money, if you really want to build a retirement portfolio that you can live a life of an abundance, then you must learn about alternative investing or passive investing in things, cash flowing things, businesses, and real estate. I'm talking about tangible stuff, right? I'm not talking about the stock market portfolio, which is just digital. I'm talking about physical real estate, real businesses that exist and are there. You see, when you invest in these type of things, the individual has taken a great deal of power back. There is a much more fair playing field when you're investing in these type of things. When you're investing in the stock market as a small retail investor, you don't have the information. You don't have the access to technology. You don't have the access to thousands of financial analysts that somebody like Warren Buffett or other bigs have. You don't have the ability to move markets with your positions. And as a result, that is probably the most unlevel playing field possible as an individual. When you're investing in real estate, the playing field is much more level. It's much more fair. And let's not get it wrong. A lot of doctors, like the ones in our Facebook group, have discovered this world of passive investing or alternate investing. With Wall Street's volatility, the amount of doctors and dentists investing in alternative investing or passive investing is becoming much more mainstream. The latest study I read says that 41% of all practitioners are investing in alternative investments. Out of high net worth investors, at least 20% of their portfolio is dedicated towards passive investing or alternative investing. And there's a great amount of you that it's still stuck in that 60-40 ratio where 60% stocks and 40% bonds, or is now even 70% bonds, 30% stocks. I don't know. But that is a badly outdated strategy, and it's being completely overhauled and changed by the vast majority of people who are looking for more diversification, better returns, lower volatility, and lower risk. Although alternative investing is becoming more and more popular amongst their peer group, it is still considered non-traditional and considered too risky by the vast majority of us. And that's why a lot of us have not yet gotten to the point that we are, hey, look, we need to start investing in other things. And, granted, another thing about it is it's not as easy, right, to get into alternative investing. It's not as easy as just putting your money into a 401k or a SEP IRA and not having to think about it. And a lot of doctors, they just plain think it's too risky. But the real risk, I would challenge you, is by putting your money into a 401k plan. I've never heard of anybody come and tell me that a 401k plan has made them rich. I've never heard someone who's become very wealthy and said that a 401k plan or an IRA plan was a key factor in them building wealth. Have you? And I would also tell you that the payoff of taking a little bit, you guys are all capable, very smart individuals. If you've gone through medical school, if you've gone through dental school and you've learned this, you have the intellectual capacity to learn a little bit about this stuff. Because I guarantee you that the payoff by spending a little bit of time and energy and focus to learning about passive investing, the payoff will be astronomical. Watching channels just like this is part of you putting in that work. You're gaining an awareness. You're learning what you need to put your time and focus into. By doing this day in and day out, you can continually increase your financial literacy. And when you increase your financial literacy, you greatly increase your chances of financial success. The best way that I can tell you to keep increasing your financial literacy and capacity is to find other people experienced in what you're doing. People that have done and achieved what you want to achieve. And hang out and spend a lot of time with those type of people. Now, how do you do that? Well, you have the ability to tap into these type of people's minds by reading their books, listening to their audiobooks, listening to their podcasts, going to their webinars, going to their conferences, going to their mentorship programs, right? So learning and education, just like anything else, learn about investing, learn about alternative investing. Find an investment firm that can help you achieve your goals. Companies like ours, Walk of Wealth, we are experts at navigating the world of private offerings. Join our community, learn from us, piggyback on us. Look at the deals that we look at. You can do that by joining our free Wealthy Doctor Passive Investor Club. That's on the website, should be in the description below. Just go to my website, join our investor club. And listen, now you're trying to break away from the herd here, right? You're gonna get a lot of haters, naysayers that'll tell you all of their own limiting beliefs and all of their things that they believe, whether they have any proof or not, and they're gonna try to weigh you down and tell you that you're trying to break away from how everybody else is doing it and you're gonna fail. Don't listen to those people. They're gonna tell you there's a big real estate crash coming. They're gonna tell you that all real estate's gonna crash and burn. They're gonna tell you that syndications are scams and they're Ponzi schemes. But remember, you are not one of the sheep in the herd. You are an individual. You have the ability to think for yourself, you have the ability to make decisions for yourself, and you have the ability to go and create whatever type of life that you want. And if becoming wealthy is one of the things that you want to have in your life and for your family, then learn how to invest how the truly wealthy people invest. Because if you emulate the things that wealthy people do, then most likely there's a good chance that you can also become wealthy. So that's the take-home message of this whole video. Break free from the herd. Take charge of your money, take charge of your finances, and most importantly, take charge of your life. Hope you enjoyed that video. Click on the next one for more wealth building strategies, and I'll see you. I'm Dr. Johnny. I enjoyed this video. See you next time. Boom.